Chapter 1. The Silent Brain. What happens when you close your eyes? When you close your eyes to meditate, it might seem as if the brain shuts down, but the opposite happens. A deep process of reorganization begins. External stimulus sensors quiet down, and internal networks start to synchronize. It's as if mental traffic stops to allow the streets to be repaired. At first, the mind resists. Thoughts, memories, and to-do lists appear forcefully. It's the natural reaction of a brain addicted to hyperactivity. However, after a few minutes of observation, electrical activity begins to change alpha waves, linked to calm and relaxed focus, increase. Breathing becomes an anchor. Each inhalation sends oxygen to the limbic system, regulating the stress response. Each exhalation activates the vagus nerve, calming heart rate and blood pressure. This balance between body and mind is the physiological foundation of well-being. With practice, the brain learns to enter states of serenity without external stimuli. Instead of seeking pleasure or distraction, it begins to generate its own sense of sufficiency. What once seemed like emptiness turns into fullness. Meditation is not an escape from the world, it's a new way of inhabiting it. Chapter 2. The Ego Network. How meditation silences the inner noise. The human brain spends much of its energy thinking about itself. This activity occurs in the default mode network, DMN, which lights up when we daydream or ruminate over worries. It is the network of the self, of the past, and future. During meditation, this network quiets down. It's as if the brain stops narrating its own story. The person experiences less inner dialogue and more presence. RI studies show that seasoned meditators have a quieter and more efficient DMN. When the sense of self relaxes, a feeling of spaciousness arises. The boundaries between me and the environment blur. This doesn't mean losing identity, but freeing oneself from its rigidity. The mind no longer needs to control every experience, and the body responds with relief. Inner silence is not emptiness, it is space for clear perception. In that silence, emotions are observed without judgment, thoughts lose their weight, and consciousness becomes a witness to itself. That is the invisible revolution of meditation. Chapter 3. Mindfulness. The Art of Taming. The Scattered Mind. We live surrounded by stimuli designed to fragment our attention. Meditation, especially mindfulness, acts as an attentional gym. It trains brain areas responsible for focus, such as the dorsolateral prefrontal cortex and the anterior cingulate cortex. Each time you notice you've become distracted and return to your breath, you're strengthening your brain as if lifting mental weights. That microsecond of awareness is neuroplasticity in action. Over time, attention becomes more stable and mental noise less invasive. The meditator develops a mind capable of observing without reacting, acting without impulsivity. Continuous practice produces flexible attention, firm yet gentle. A concentrated mind is not a tense mind, it is a free mind. Meditation does not seek to eliminate thoughts, but to train the awareness that observes them. That is where true clarity begins. Chapter 4. The Amygdala and Stress. Taming the Guardian of Fear. The amygdala acts as a threat detector, sensing danger even before we are conscious of it. When it lives in constant alert, it generates anxiety, insomnia, and exhaustion. Meditation reduces that hyperactivity. Studies show that after 8 weeks of practice, the amygdala decreases in size and in its stress response. At the same time, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for reasoning, gains more control over emotional reactions. The result is active calm. The body can respond to a challenge without being trapped in fear. Meditating doesn't mean not feeling. It means feeling without being swept away. Serenity is the true strength of the trained brain. Chapter 5. Neuroplasticity. Rewiring your brain through stillness. Every thought leaves a physical trace. During meditation, new neural connections form, strengthening circuits of attention, empathy, and well-being. Brain imaging shows increases in gray matter in the hippocampus, insula, and prefrontal cortex, tangible evidence that the mind can shape the brain. The habit of pausing, breathing, and observing is more transformative than any external stimulus. Neuroplasticity turns consistent practice into neural structure. In essence, meditation is redesigning your nervous system from stillness. Chapter 6. Brain waves and states of consciousness. Brain waves shift depending on levels of focus or relaxation. During meditation, alpha waves, alert calmness, and theta waves, deep relaxation, dominate. In advanced meditation, gamma waves appear, associated with compassion and expanded awareness. These synchronies reflect a coherent brain, where regions work in harmony. The meditator then experiences a sense of connection and clarity. Science calls it neural coherence. Ancient traditions call it presence. In both cases, it is the mind vibrating in balance. Chapter 7. Empathy and compassion in the meditative brain. Compassion meditation activates regions like the anterior insula and cingulate cortex, areas responsible for feeling others' pain. But rather than producing suffering, it creates serene empathy. This practice balances emotion and reason, allowing one to help without burnout. Tibetan monks studied by neuroscientists show intense gamma activity during these meditations, reflecting altruistic joy. Cultivating compassion not only improves relationships, it changes brain chemistry, increasing oxytocin and serotonin levels. Kindness, too, is neuroscience. Chapter 8. Meditation and Memory. The hippocampus as an inner sanctuary. The hippocampus, responsible for memory and emotional orientation, is strengthened through meditation. In stressed individuals, it often shrinks. In meditators, it grows. This translates to greater mental clarity, better learning, and emotional stability. Memory ceases to be dominated by painful past experiences and becomes a flexible record. The hippocampus doesn't just remember facts, it remembers how we felt about them. Thus, when you train it through calm, you rewrite the way you remember. Chapter 9. The Science of Well-Being. What meditation does to your hormones. Meditation regulates the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the system responsible for stress. Cortisol levels decrease, while serotonin, dopamine, and melatonin increase. The result is hormonal balance that promotes sleep, mood, and creativity. It's not magic, it's biology applied to consciousness. Well-being doesn't depend on what happens outside, but on how your nervous system responds. Meditation teaches your body to feel safe in the present moment. Chapter 10. Beyond the Self. When the mind merges with the present. In deep stages of practice, the sense of a separate self dissolves. The brain enters a state of integration among networks that once competed. Attention and emotion become unified. Meditators describe this experience as oneness or pure presence. From neuroscience, it is understood as global neural coherence. When there is no longer conflict between thought and reality, a peace arises that depends on nothing. That is the highest state of freedom, to be fully conscious of the present moment.